Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and welcome to Lisa's Stamp Studio. Today's project is a Snowman Luminary. It's created using Vellum cardstock and the Stampin' Write markers. Here it is. The Luminary is actually created with a battery-operated tea light candle that fits down inside, and I'll give you a closer look at it lit up once we get over to the stamp table. If you're here visiting from YouTube, you'll find a link in the description of this video below, which will connect you over to the pictures and the cutting dimensions plus the supplies for today's project. These are going to be great holiday table favors as well as decorations, especially for last minute gifts. Let's head over to the stamp table and let's get started on today's project. I'm going to give you a quick close-up of these adorable little luminaries. They're going to slip right over your tea light battery operated candle. I do not recommend that you would use these with a real flame, obviously, because this is a paper. But let's go ahead and show you how to create them. I have a piece of vellum cardstock here. This measures 2 by 6.5 inches. I'm going to place some white cardstock underneath it when we do the drawing, just so that you'll be able to see what I'm actually sketching. I'm going to be using the basic black Stampin' Write marker. The markers are dual-ended. There's a thick end here, which is the brush, and a thin end here, which is more of the pen. I prefer the pen end to do the drawing for this. I just find that I have more control and my lines are going to be thinner. So go ahead and take that cap off. And if you want to, you can lay this on a grid paper so that you have an idea of where the center is, but we're just going to eyeball it for this example. I'm going to start here at the top and I'm going to do 2 eyebrows, and these can be in any shape that you want. I'm next going to draw some eyes. I don't want you to get too crazy worrying about whether they're exactly symmetrical or they're perfectly round. It doesn't matter because this is going to be really whimsical. So I've got one here and I'm going to draw one over here. It's really important that you don't touch the marker while the vellum dries because it's going to take a little bit longer than regular cardstock. Next, I'm going to draw a mouth, and it can be any shape or style that you want. So I'm going to do like a half smile. And I'm going to end with a little grin line here. I'm going to put a little dot right inside of there just for a little bit of an accent, and I'll add another to this side as well. Let's switch over now to the pumpkin pie marker. And again, I'm going to use the thin side. I'm going to draw the nose, and I find it easier if I turn my paper versus turning my hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by coming in here and drawing my nose out with the pen side of my marker. And remember, these noses don't have to be perfect. So I'm going to slide this over and I'm going to kind of come in here with a little bit of a bumpy end on it. Don't worry if it's not even. I've never seen a carrot that's even. I'm going to switch over to the brush tip now. This is the marker side. And I'm going to go ahead and color this in. And if you go outside the lines, it's quite all right. Just make it a little bit bigger to accommodate that. And I'm going to add a little bumps in here along the way as I color it. I'm going to work with that fine tip of this marker to get a little bit pointier here on the end and just make sure I've got the whole thing colored in. You can see because the vellum is wet, all we're really doing is kind of pushing color around. So if you want to change the shape or you want to make it darker, you're going to need to wait for that to completely dry. Because vellum is an opaque type of paper, it's going to take probably a good 10 or 15 minutes at room temperature. The next step we're going to add is adhesive on this one side. So we're just going to assume that it's dry for just a moment. I like Tear Tape because I know that it's not going to come undone once I have it adhered. So let's go ahead and move that cardstock out of the way and I'll lay that here. And Tear Tape is exactly how it sounds. You're just going to lay this down right near the edge of the vellum. And I'm going to put my fingernail right here on the edge and I'm just going to tear. Make sure that you burnish the paper down inside. And then with my Take Your Pick pickup tool, I've got the paper piercing attachment on the end. I love that this tool has interchangeable tips. That's just going to help me lift off that paper backing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to attach these 2 ends together to make a circle. But I know that this is wet, so I'm going to switch over to one that I created just before you joined me. And I'll go ahead and take off the Tear Tape backing on this one because I know I can handle this one a little bit better. And I'm going to come up here from behind and I'm just looking visually to make sure that I've got my 2 ends lined up, and then I'll just press them in place. I've got my battery operated tea light candle here, and I'll go ahead and turn that on. And I'll just hold that up inside so you get an idea of what that's going to look like. This is absolutely adorable. There's a view from the top. You're going to set these on a tray, maybe even a mirrored tray for the holidays, and you're going to have all kinds of fun with these for table decorations or even favors. This is something even the kids can do if they're of school age, and you can give them directions and they're patient enough to let it dry. You can see I've done some other faces here. This one with the traditional dots, and this one with a squiggly smile. You really can't mess this up, so have fun with it. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're interested in purchasing Stampin' Up! Supplies, I would be more than happy to send you a complimentary copy of the current catalog. Just leave me a comment below. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.